When you put an arrangement together like this, the first thing you want to think about is the key signature. You have to think, is it a guitaristic key or is it from the original piano music? Guitaristic keys are usually those that are 4 sharps or less. They have a lot more open strings, a lot more sustain, and they work just a lot better. We Are the Champions was originally in C minor. It's a terrible key for guitar, so I transcribed it down a half step to B minor, which 2 sharps are perfect for guitar. As a matter of fact, the first 3 songs in this program have been transcribed down a half step to accommodate guitaristic keys, a lot of open strings, a lot of sustain. And usually when I work up an arrangement, I rarely deviate much more than a whole step from the original key. Sometimes I do, and that is to accommodate all the open strings of sustain that I need. Sometimes I have to try several keys to make sure that all the sections in the song will work during my arrangement. My approach to We Are the Champions is to first decide the chord structures. In this case, I'm going to start off with B minor and F sharp minor as the chord structure. The melody will start like this. Added to that is the B minor arpeggio, and together you have, and immediately I'm going into a pizzicato. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm using my thumb to play this descending pizzicato. Remember, place your palm there on the very tips. Doesn't have to be too hard or else you're going to lose the tone. You want to be able to hear the tone without losing the tone. So be sure to just put enough pressure, descending. And you'll notice that while the bass is descending, I will use my index and middle to ascend and have the counterpoint. Here it is from the beginning. Notice the second time I'm using a B minor arpeggio here in the 7th position because the piano player is doing the higher notes. There's your A over B. Again, back to the 7th position. With the B open string, before I place that bar down, I'm playing the melody. Notice that the melody is down here on the F sharp, but the piano is also playing in sync with it. On to the next section. You notice that the bass isn't coming in octaves, it's like a half step below it. D suspension. Onto the big chords. Now notice on this section we're going to descend this bass note. Half step, whole step, E, and it's going to lead us into that A chord. Watch this, here we go again, D chord. What I just did was I started with a D chord, and I'm moving my 4th finger down to C sharp, making this an A over C sharp. And you'll notice that the melody E is open. We're moving the melody to an F sharp in the B minor chord, and then we're going to an E7 chord. There's your melody on G sharp, and it's sliding up and ending on an A chord. And we have our ascending melody, the part that the vocal choir is singing. Onto the 7th fret. In slow motion, basically I'm just having my first finger down. I'm going to add these fingers on the 3rd string chromatically, along with your melody going. We actually add the 2nd finger down here. Notice that I'm just keeping a drone in the bass notes. That A open string is just playing throughout. And then into a B7 chord, which will lead you into the key of E. Arpeggio. Now try to bend that note on the D sharp because that's how Freddie's singing it. G sharp bar chord. Strum. We do add that percussive effect. A to B. Melody. A. Octaves. To the F sharp minor chord. Notice that we have a G sharp here and a B open string. Climb up to the A minor. Now we're going to stick this third finger down here on the B. The pinky's going to go to the D G sharp. Once again. And your bass notes are descending in minor thirds. Down to the E chord again. Down to the E chord. But you got to use a stretch. Now to get from here to the E, you're going to use the common fingering, the sliding finger of the third finger. And then you're going to stretch. Arpeggio. Melody. Now notice that during this next section we were having the bass note. Again. A7. On to the next verse. Harmonics. A over E, and then E minor. B suspension, on to the melody, and back to the 7th position, B minor. Harmonic. Make sure you alternate during this section because we are going to sustain that B as the melody notes. Descending arpeggio. Ascending arpeggio. Little bit of the A chord. And then on to the melody. D chord. Descending arpeggio. Again. Now they're going to do the lead guitar part here, and in order to do this I have to move the same chord from 4th position into 9th position. Played the melody line with my thumb so I can actually prepare my lead guitar up here and stretch this pinky. Very hard thing to do here. Let's try that one more time. And that puts you, that open string will allow you to get in 1st position again. notice here I'm hearing one voice and I'm hearing the other come in. So to imitate that, and that's all I'm doing, no arpeggios. I'm going into the G sharp minor chord. And then here the melody is going up to the G sharp and the B. And on to the A. Notice that the bass note's just a little bit different from the first two. D to C sharp, G sharp to F sharp. Again, that is. Onto the F sharp minor. Everything's the same. I'm going to play this song one more time, much slower, and maybe a little bit different in some spots, but I want you to pay attention because I'm going to be applying these techniques that we just talked about, the common fingering, the sliding technique, the common shape, and even the complete change, in which case that when I do a complete change, it's very economical in its movement. Let's start again from the beginning, one more time, real slow. Now we'll move on to another favorite of mine, Killer Queen. When I was asked to do this project, this I thought would be a great challenge to make an arrangement for solo guitar. Like We Are the Champions, it was originally in C minor. I moved it down a half step to B minor. It's in 4/4 time, very staccato. Let me play it for you right now.